through you. I can see that in every way you have been enriched by Jesus in speech and knowledge of every kind. The testimony of Jesus is strengthened among you, and you are not lacking in any spiritual gift. You will be strengthened to the end. You have been called into fellowship with Jesus, and Spirit will be with you on the journey. Today we begin by telling an ancient story that touches us at the core of our being. Over the next 4 weeks we will listen, we will ponder, and the seeds of hope, peace, joy, and love will be planted and nurtured among us. We will watch them grow until the light of life is born again in us. Welcome to this sacred place and to this holy time. May we have ears to hear the good news among us.
Good morning, friends. A friendly reminder that as we gather, when it comes time to sing, you are most welcome to do so, but we ask that you sing softly and make sure that you have a mask that's covering both your nose and your mouth and your chin fully as we sing, so that we can keep our voices and our droplets to ourselves.
There are a couple of announcements that I would like to make this morning. First of all, thank you to everyone who responded so well to the email this week regarding the groceries that we need for the Christmas Index program. And to let you know that we are going to be sponsoring 20 families this year, which makes a total of 77 individuals. We do have tags for gifts for each of those, and there is a board at the back as you came in, and another one in the balcony. If you did not have an opportunity to look at those this morning when you came in, those boards will be over in the hall throughout the week, and we'll be back in church, God willing, as long as we're still here, next Sunday as well. So please make an effort to take a look at those and see if you can help out in any way. Those gifts need to be returned to the church by December the 13th.
If I may jump in for one more that I forgot, and that is that we would be coming up on our Candlelight Christmas concert most years. However, as this is no ordinary time, I'm optimistic that we will have an online candlelight concert as long as our groups, including the bells that you see in front of you today, are able to keep meeting and recording a couple of pieces for you. So stay tuned. We got a couple of lovely pieces recorded Wednesday night, and we hope to do more of the same in the weeks upcoming.
Also, a thank you to folks who diligently responded to your treasure hunt last week. We had more than enough banana boxes dropped off at the church in the first couple of days of the week. We did get more than we needed, but have no fear. We are going to pay it forward and pass those boxes on to other organizations that are also searching at this time. Just a reminder that for the gifts, there's a lot of requests for gift cards this year. And a reminder that if there is, Tracy has ordered a number of gift cards, and many of the places that the gift cards are requested for will be available through the office. So if you're going to purchase a gift card, please check with Tracy first to see about getting one through the office. I think that perhaps that's it for now. Anybody think of anything I'm forgetting? Alrighty, let us take some deep breaths and ground ourselves as we worship. seeking insight, wisdom, truth, we come, open to the movement of the Spirit among us. We know there is much darkness in our midst, sickness, grief, war, abuse, poverty, injustice. And yet we dare to hope for a better way, a new creation. And there is energy and light. A light that grows as we open ourselves to the birth of Jesus in each one of us. May we be open, allowing Jesus to be our light and shine through us to obliterate the darkness. As we mark the beginning of this new season for us, we gather as we do each year and light the candle of hope among us. And we come around the table, a sign and symbol of hope realized so very long ago. Here in this place, the table is set, and our table this morning is a little different than it normally is. You will notice that the elements for our meal together are actually in the little cup holders in the pew in front of you, or if you're sitting in a chair, on the back of your chairs here. There is a space at our table for everyone, and today our table is literally everywhere. Here we come. We are welcomed. We are loved. We are upheld. There is a place at the table for you.
There is a place for
we gather at this table, and we remember that our story goes back to the beginning of time. We call to mind the divine creative power that blew breath and life into all that is. We light the candle of the East, the place of new beginnings, of promise and possibility. There have been many times in our journey when this light has dimmed, when we have strayed. The spark, however, has always been fanned, and the flame becomes strong again. This light has come to us in people along the way who have spoken to us words of hope and promise, who've shown us what it is to live in the light. People like Abraham and Sarah, like Jacob and Rachel and Leah, people like Isaiah and Jeremiah and Esther and Deborah. And there have been countless others who have been a light along our way. Today we think particularly of Gordon and Mary Moore. Ronald Langell, Malcolm Langell, Carl Weatherby, Carl and Leona Weatherby, Marjorie and Webster Duvall, Annie and Jake Boudlier, Arlene Langford, and John Colvin. For all of these and all the others who have fanned the flames, we light the candle to the south, the place of nourishment, of care, of tenderness. Jesus of Nazareth, divine revelation, tended the soil of our souls and opened us to a new way of life. He spoke of healing and hope and invited us to nurture possibilities. He called us to give all that we have, just as he did. We light the candle of the West. And just before he yielded his place in this universe, he sat down with his friends and he gave thanks. He gave new words and a new story. The bread and the cup, the ordinary things of life became extraordinary, signs of a new covenant. And he instructed us whenever we gather at the table to remember, to open ourselves to light and life, and become co-creators of a new world. We light the candle of the North. The bread of life given for us, let us eat and make Jesus real in our lives. The cup of the new covenant, shared to us and with us. Let us drink and never be thirsty. I invite you now to take your elements, to eat your bread, to drink from the cup. Be nourished for the journey. Be held in a love that will never let you go. And allow your light to shine. Let us unite our hearts in prayer. We end this meal with grace for the joy and nourishment of food, the slowed time away from the world to come into the presence with each other and sense the subtle lives behind our faces, the different colors of our voices, the edges of hunger we keep private, the circle of love that unites us. We pray the wise Spirit who keeps us to change structures that make others hunger, and that after such grace, we might now go forth and impart dignity wherever we go. May it be so. Let us unite our hearts in prayer. As we gather in this space, we open ourselves to Spirit as it moves in and through and among us. May we be guided on our journey, and may we be open to go wherever Spirit leads, to speak whatever Spirit asks us to speak. And now may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be acceptable this day. Amen. Not everything is canceled. The sun is not canceled. Relationships are not canceled. Taking a nap is not canceled. Going for a walk is not canceled. Love is not canceled. Hope is not canceled. These were the words that greeted me this morning as I took my morning cup of coffee and opened up my Facebook to see what the world was saying. And it hit me right in the face. What powerful words for us to remember as we gather in this time and in this place. For these are difficult times. There is an heaviness that has rested upon us. We live wondering from day to day what the next day or minute is going to bring with regards to this virus. And around us, literally where we are right now, all around us, things are shutting down. They're being canceled. Our borders are again being closed. And we are now in the season of Christmas, when normally we are baking and cooking and putting up our decorations and making the plans for all those who will come and join us around our tables from near and far. And in our reality today, that may not happen. There will be many empty places at the table. And if we look at that, on one hand, it's stress-filled, it's agonizing, it is depressing. And we could easily crawl into a corner in our own little space of the world and give up. But Christmas is not about full tables. It's not about relatives gathering together. It's not about the presents under the Christmas tree. It is about none of that. While that is wonderful and good, it's not what Christmas is for those of us who follow in the footsteps of Jesus. Christmas is not canceled in any way, shape, or form. Christmas is about hope. It is about love, about peace, about a joy that resonates deep down inside of our guts and just boils over because our hope is realized. Thousands and thousands of years ago, the ancestors shared words of hope in the midst of their own deep struggles, times of political chaos, of exile. The prophets rose up in the midst of that and gave to the people of Israel a vision of something that was not yet, but would be. A vision of a time and a place when all creation was reconciled one with the other. Isaiah talks about the one who would come and would rule with righteousness and justice, who would bring peace to the land where the shepherds would lead the sheep and the lambs and the lions would lie down together, where there would be this place of wonder. Jeremiah also makes those same kinds of prophecies, as do countless others in that time and place. We are reminded that a branch shall grow from the root of Jesse, and the people who walked in darkness will see a great light. For the people in first century Palestine who thought about the event that took place one cold night in a stable, all of those prophecies were fulfilled. Our ancestors saw this light that came into the midst of darkness. And as years passed, it would be revealed that this light would indeed bring hope and peace and love and joy to a broken and a hurting world, and turn the world upside down in a way that had never been done before. And so their hope was realized. And while the hope was realized in one way, it continued to be not yet. For we know, these 2,000 years since then, that the world is not reconciled one with the other. But that light that was lit 2,000 plus years ago continues to burn. It is the only light that stands by itself. It is the first light we light. Because hope is what fills our beings. And in this day, in this place, we need that hope as never before. Where do you see that light in your life? When I think about it, for me, the hope comes in those countless scientists around the world who are working diligently to understand and fight this virus that causes us to be sitting in this sanctuary with masks on, staying in our homes. The hope is that this too will pass, that there will be a way for it to be defeated. Hope is the expectation of something that is going to happen and a desire for it to happen. And that hope is what gives us strength. That hope is what changes our own world around us. That hope is what enables us to get up in the morning and see the sun. It is what enables us to move from day to day and find those little things that can lift our souls. In my office, I have a picture. It's in a little black frame. It was given to me some 3 years ago. And it is a picture of a telephone pole planted in a concrete surround. And everything is barren around it, except this one green shoot that is coming up through the concrete on the side of the tree. That is hope. I live in hope that we will still be in this sanctuary on Christmas Eve. And until that hope is dashed completely, we're going to go under the assumption that we are. Which means that if you wish to be in here on Christmas Eve, you need to register for one of the services. There is a service at 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, and another one on Christmas Day at 10 a.m. Do not assume that you will be registered unless you phone, because all seats will need to be designated. So please, if you plan to come, make sure you let Tracy know in the office. And now, as we prepare to leave this place, may we have the eyes of the wise ones long ago, and be able to see the signs in our midst that will lead us to a new day. May we have the voices of the angels and add our voice to the chorus of hallelujahs and sing God's praises wherever we go. May we have the determination and the courage of the shepherds to leave our places of comfort, to run and see this thing that has come to be.